it's good to try and push those boundaries. And yeah, I never thought I would be doing swimwear and lingerie and not being self-conscious about my body.
I'm Jill Angelo, host of the Geneve podcast series for women's health in midlife. I speak with the most forward-thinking experts in the health and wellness industries. These experts are helping women 40 plus feel confident and in control of their health in the most vibrant years of their lives. So join us on this journey of women's health. The average female model in the U.S. is 5'7", weighs 114 pounds, has brown or blonde hair, and is between 18 and 32 years old. Not a common career path for women over 40. That's why we're so delighted to bring you today's guest, Rachel Peru, who began modeling at age 46. With beautiful silver hair, great curves, and a take-no-prisoners sparkle in her eye, she's making sure midlife women are seen and heard. Rachel, it's so great to have you with us today. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. It's exciting.
Well, first of all, why don't you just tell our listeners a little bit about you and your story and how you got into modeling?
Okay, so I'm based in Yorkshire in England, and I'm 49 in May. And 2.5 years ago, I started a completely new career as a model, which I've never done anything like this before. So I was 46, I'm curvy, so I'm with a curve agency, and I'm also grey-haired. So it's a completely different direction, and I would never have done this in my 20s and 30s. But yeah, I'm loving it. It's completely different, and I'm embracing everything that comes with it.
So what made you turn to modeling? What, at the age of 46, was it,
yes,
when you began modeling?
Yeah.
What made you decide that's what I want to do?
I got divorced when I was 40. So from 40 to, the last 10 years, it's been a kind of voyage of discovery, rediscovering myself, because I lacked in confidence in my 20s and 30s. And then when I was 40, I'd literally just got divorced. A friend asked me to do a fashion show for a charity event. And it actually came really at the right time because it just gave me a massive boost of confidence. And although I was nervous, I got the kind of buzz and it made me feel good about myself. And then I did it every year afterwards. In fact, I've done my 10th year coming up. So each year I was doing it, my confidence was growing. And a photographer kept saying, "You're really photogenic, why don't you try doing it?" Completely dismissed it, never on my radar. And a couple of years ago, when my kids are all older, I've got 3 children. My youngest is now 16. So I thought, actually, what have I got to lose? Let's try it and see what happens. So I sent some photographs off to agencies and, by complete surprise, got picked straight away. And, I've been working kind of ever since. So it's a surprise change of career.
That's great. Tell us a little bit about, what does modeling entail? What is your schedule like, and what kind of projects and things do you pick up?
I think it's harder for my age group. So my work's not been as probably busy initially. It's taken me a while to establish myself. So I've done swimwear shoots, lingerie, but then equally I've played a grandma with grey hair, selling kind of aids for healthcare. But I like it because it's just varied and I can do different things. Every job's different. You get to work with different people. I've travelled. I went to the Bahamas with Ashley Graham to do swimsuits for all. So I've done all sorts. And I like the fact that it's varied. It keeps me on my toes.
In a way, do you feel like you're redefining, the standards of beauty, in terms of, like you said, I've embraced my gray hair or my silver hair and curves, and you're doing swimsuit shoots. That's amazing. Do you feel like you're redefining? And
yeah, I hope so. I'm really passionate about, because I think just from the few years that I've been doing it, I've seen the lack of use in the media and advertising for women my age group. I am big busted. I'm a UK size 14-16, which is average size. It's not classed as, plus size really, but I am a plus size model because of the way their criteria is. So I think it's good to try and push those boundaries. And I never thought I would be doing swimwear and lingerie and not being self-conscious about my body. But something I'm really passionate about, because more women need to see each other of our age group doing it.
In an interview, you said, and I'm going to quote you, women want to see positive images of themselves at all ages. I'm proud to make midlife women more visible. We hear a lot about women becoming invisible. Talk a little bit about, why I think women 40 plus, why it's so important for them to see women like them in magazines and online and so forth.
I think it's a really difficult time for women when they get into their 40s because lots of things are going on. If you've got children, chances are a lot of them are getting older, so they fly in the nest and doing their own thing. So your house suddenly becomes empty and your kind of role as a mother changes completely, and that's quite a scary time, and it unsettles women. It also can coincide with people looking after their parents. So you lose your sense of your role in society, I think. And we need to see people of our age group in the media getting on with life, doing great things, embracing their age, just to keep our positivity going and realise that, we have got so much to offer. When you think that our spending group at over 50, certainly the spending group is one of the highest ones, in retail, and that should be represented in the branding. We should be seen.
Absolutely. I have to ask, what do your kids think of your new career?
So I've got two girls and a boy in the middle. So I've got a 20-year-old and a 16 daughter, and then 18-year-old son. My daughters think it's really exciting, and they've been really positive and think it's great fun and really proud of me. My son's really proud of me, but I think as a boy, it's more of a cringe to, we're not on social media together, let's put it that way. But he is proud of me. Yeah. And I think it's good for them. I think it's really good for them to see that you can change careers and not to be scared of trying new things and embracing stuff, whatever age you are. So I think it's a good thing that they can see me doing this.
How did you sleep last night? Not so great? Or maybe you felt a little nauseated during the day today? If you're not feeling 100%, but you're also not feeling badly enough to see your doctor, how about talking with a doctor via video chat from the comfort of your own home? Geneve's Telehealth is staffed with doctors and nurse practitioners who specialize in menopause care and can answer your very specific questions on handling menopause symptoms. To book an appointment, go to geneve.com and click Book Appointment. In 2018, you tweeted, I found my, or I don't know if it was right in 2018, but you tweeted, I found my voice in 2018. Can you tell us a little bit about that notion? And also, I think you started more of a movement around the hashtag I am more than, or a project around hashtag I am more than.
Yeah, I was invited by two Scottish sisters that run this project called I Am More Than. So they really work on trying to show and celebrate diversity in the fashion industry. So they invited me to join their project. And I think in my 20s and 30s, because I lacked confidence, I was probably always scared to express myself and express what I thought. And I kind of didn't have the confidence. And particularly, I think last year I did find that I had a voice and that I can contribute, hopefully, something positive to this movement. So to be involved in a project like that was really great. And the last project we did, we chose words, so mine was unheard, and we had them written across our bodies, and then we did different photographs with the uncrossed out, and it just highlights how important our choice of words are, because they can be really damaging. Especially at a young age, there's something that I found stays with you for a long time, and then it's really hard to get rid of them. So it was good to be involved in something that challenged our thinking about words and hopefully made a difference to some people.
You said that, what kind of was this turning point that gave you some courage was, responding to a friend who had asked you to model in a fashion show. But what really, it's taken, I can't imagine the courage it's taken you to kind of make such a transformation in life. Like you said, you went through a personal change with a divorce and kids growing up and so forth. But what inspires you to continue to kind of almost be this new person and be a person that really fulfills you?
I think I found well, I'm almost like I was when I was maybe 14, 15, because I was confident as a teenager, as a young teenager. So it's almost like refinding that girl, and I feel comfortable in my skin now. So I do feel like I've got a whole sense of, it's liberating, and there's a whole world out there you can get on with it and get on with life. And I also think I'm 50 next year, and I do think subconsciously there's probably a part of me that thinks, okay, this is life now. You have got to make the most of every single day, embrace it. If something scares you, just get on with it and do it. It'll be fine. So I think there's probably something in that's at the back of my mind as well, pushing me.
Now, beyond your modeling, you also have a podcast called Out of the Bubble podcast. Tell us a little bit about that.
I'm fairly new to social media, so I've been on Instagram for 2 or 3 years, and I really love it. And I've found so many different inspiring women, certainly midlife women, that I've connected with, and I've read stories on a daily basis that have really uplifted me and made me feel more positive about what I'm doing. So I just wanted to try and have a platform where I could share some of these stories. So the podcast, I interview different women each week, sharing their stories, telling everybody what they're doing, and it's all women in their midlife, and hopefully it will inspire other people to think, okay, I've been thinking about doing this, I'm just going to try it and do it. I think a lot of people get lost, and hopefully just hearing other women share stories gives you confidence.
And do you think things are changing for women in midlife?
Yeah, I do. I think we've got a long way to go, but I think we're different to our parents' generation. My mum's generation were very different to how I am now. My mum in her 40s had really super long hair, and when she actually reached 40, she had it all cut short because she'd got it in her head. You couldn't have long hair in your 40s, that was it. You had to have short hair. And I think the way we feel about ourselves and our body confidence, we're more aware of eating healthily and exercising, and women are working longer, setting up new careers in their 50s. So I think things are changing. We're just getting on with it and getting out there and embracing life. And I think eventually the media and everything that goes with that will catch up with what we're doing.
One kind of last question around how you have selected a path or a second career or new direction in life that some might think of as restrictive, like, oh, now you've got to eat, just right, or to fit into certain clothing, or to be in a swimsuit. How do you think about that in your mind? To me, my impression is you don't see anything about your chosen profession and path forward as restrictive. You only see it as liberating.
Yeah, because I'm not fitting into anybody else's standards. I think the beauty of doing it at this age is, this is me, this is the size I am, I eat what I want, I do exercise a bit, but I'm not a massive fitness fanatic, I never have been. And so I'm not trying to fit in with anybody else. So if they like me, they like me. If they don't, then, there'll be other jobs. I mean, when I was younger, in my 20s and 30s, I dieted. I've probably done every single diet in the book. Whereas now I don't weigh myself. I'm just the size I am and get on with life.
Are women reaching out to you to say, how'd you do it?
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of support from women. They're being really interested in what I'm doing and very positive about it. And I've had other women asking me for advice about how they could get into modelling. So I always try and make sure that I've got time for people, because, when I first started, I reached out to other women and said, okay, how have you got this route? I think if we all share stories and talk to each other, we're a lot stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. And women, people want to help one another when others reach out to them. I find that all the time. It's incredible. What's the best way for women to reach out to you?
Instagram is a really good place. So I'm Rachel Peru 1 on Instagram. And so if it gets a direct message, then I always answer everybody. And also I've got a website, so rachelperumodel.com. So you can email me on that.
Well, Rachel, thank you. It's just, even though this is a podcast, people can hear your voice. I get to see your smiling face, and you're quite an inspiration. It's wonderful to see your face representing, women in midlife. So thank you for what you're doing, for being an inspiration for others.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for your support. Appreciate it. It's lovely to speak to you.
Thanks so much to Rachel Peru for sharing her story of finding success and confidence at 46. You can find her on Instagram at RachelPeru1 and on her website at rachelperumodel.com. Be sure to check out the gorgeous pictures of her at work. Thanks for tuning in to our conversation, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for listening to the Geneve podcast series. We welcome your feedback at geneve.com. That's GENNEVE.com. You can follow us on Facebook and subscribe to us on iTunes or Stitcher, and you'll never miss an episode. The Geneve podcast series is produced by Shannon Perry, theme music by Smitty. And until next time, watch the Geneve website for new stories and offers all dedicated to women's midlife health.